Alright, what's going on, guys? What's up? What's up? It's going to be a no-cam stream this morning. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys had a great weekend. What's up, Wesley? Wesley B. Jeremy. What's up, man? Good morning. B. Cop. What's up? What's up, man? Dan. What's going on? You know, in the chat, where you guys watching from? Where you trading to? If you like this stream. VP, good morning, bro. Winning day. Yes, sir, it's a winning day as long as you follow your trading rules. It's not a winning day if you win or lose a trade. That's 100% correct. What's going on, guys? There we go. Everything sounds good on my end, Danny. Sound is bad. Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Everything sound good? Let me know in the chat if everybody can hear me. Sound good? Mic check. Audio. Dope. Okay, cool. There's like a 5-second delay anyways. All right, guys. If you guys are looking at NASDAQ right now, much better. Sweet. If you guys are looking at NASDAQ, we overextended to the downside like right before the trade session started. I really don't like trading these. Really don't like trading it when we at last second get that cross to the downside. It kind of looks like we could just literally chop around midnight open. Now we did kind of get a trade here, or at least an entry if you guys are following along NASDAQ with these midnight retracement trades. We came down to this liquidity footprint here. There was a rejection here. So if you took this trade right here, I mean, I understand it. I get it. This would technically be your long. I just don't really want to be in it right here. We just literally, with last second, we came down to the downside crossing midnight open. Again, is that against the rules? Is this against something? No, not really. It's just, we're just chopping so much, and then we literally last second. I was literally looking for shorts up here. When we were like hovering above midnight open, and then literally we just dumped on this candle here. This was the trade that I was looking for this morning. So liquidity footprint to the upside, huge bearish liquidity. This trade played out perfectly. It just played out a little too early, and that is okay. That is perfectly fine. No one trade is going to make or break my career. No one trade that I miss is going to break my career. You guys have to understand we operate from probabilities, not certainties. And we're not operating in a scarcity type of mindset. So here's midnight open. Let me move this out of the way. Here was midnight open. Your target profit would have been here. And this was the trade that I was really, really looking for. This right here, it crossed so last minute. I'm just really not, I really don't want to be in this. And this is the first thing I wanted to start out this morning with the stream, is you guys have to understand that you have every single trade that you get into, just ask yourself, is there a reason I shouldn't be making a business decision? Is there a reason I shouldn't be taking this? And if you can't find a singular reason, it's probably a high quality trade. And I have to follow my own rules here. I have to practice what I preach right here in front of you guys. Is I don't like this price action. I don't like that we crossed midnight open literally minutes before my window opened to potentially take a trade. So possibly just going to call it a flat day for my midnight retracement model, because I'm just I do not like that initial cross right off the bat. If you guys are taking a look at US30, so my velocity model taking advantage of the highs and lows of the day, that's still what I'm going to be looking for mostly today. If we do extend to the downside on both US30 and NASDAQ, that's when I would love to be looking for longs to the upside right here off of any of this liquidity. We got liquidity here, but we got a major shift right here. I would love to take longs off that, breaking that daily low, getting in that statistical daily low of the day, and riding statistics up to my take profit. And then same thing for US30. US30 looks a bit better and a bit more clean. We have a major footprint right here of liquidity. We have to break that daily low, obviously, and extend below it, but this would be potentially the trades that I'm looking for. If we're looking for longs to the upside, if we're looking for price to break that daily low, this is where I would love to see us break that daily low, come back up here, let the statistics take us to my take profit. And yeah, that's very simply put what I'm looking for. Pre-market analysis does not have to be lengthy. It does not have to be hard. And this leads me into a major point that I wanted to start this stream off with. Okay, sweet. I'm glad I'm sounding good. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for letting me know in the chat. There's a lot of controversy in the trading space. Let me know your guys' opinion in the chat before I go into it. So we got 37 people watching. Let me know in the chat, do you feel like you need a daily bias to get into a trade? Do you feel like with how you trade, you need a daily bias? Or does a daily bias even matter because you're a day trader and you're trading on a lower time frame that doesn't really need, because you're going to be in the trade less than an hour anyways? Do you need a daily bias? Let me know. Saying here. Wesley says, doesn't really matter to me. My trades are quick scalps. B. Collins says, I do not need a daily bias. I'm trading on a lower time frame. 1 hour is all I need. Miami says, for NAS, yes, which I just started looking at. Danny says, I look at it, but I doesn't really take into a factor, so no. Exact. Preferable unless a good counter trend scalp offers itself. Scott, welcome, Scott. I think you look like a new viewer, so welcome. Jojo, some sort to give a feel of the day in general. So I asked you guys that question because it's very important to understand this. You don't need a bias, but you do at the same time. If your model, okay, if your model dictates that you need a bias because you have built data, and when I mean build data, I mean you have built a year minimum of data on a model that has proven to be mathematically profitable with how you trade, and a bias is the reason you get into an entry, then a bias makes sense, right? It makes sense to find a bias. If your model is an if-then statement, if you are taking a trade because of a certain criteria, and one of those criterias are, okay, I am bearish because the last, market structure on the hourly is bearish, or if the daily is doing this and the weekly range is doing this, then your model may dictate that you need a bias, that you may need to dictate a daily bias, but you don't need it in the sense that if you aren't trading with one, you're doing something wrong. So I want to make that perfectly clear going into this stream, going into this week, is I want to give you guys value, especially the people that hop on here for the first time. I want you to know who I am as a trader. I want you to know who I am as a person. Austin, send me an invite in the Discord. Oh no, did you get kicked out? Oh no, we got Danny down. Oh no, you're in here. What do you mean invite? But no, so if you have a daily bias, right? And the people that I'm speaking to, when I say this, again, I don't say this to be confrontational. I do not say this to tell you that this is the way of trading is the way I do trading. What I'm telling you is I'm speaking to the person that feels so overwhelmed that they feel like they have to literally do 20 bazillion different things to take one trade. I'm speaking to the new trader that has no earthly idea how to build a model. I'm speaking to the trader that has no earthly idea how to treat their trading like a business plan. And these are the people that I'm speaking to. I'm not speaking to the advanced traders that, are already trading 5+ years. I'm not speaking to those. Those guys already have their models. They already have their preconceived notions that keeps them profitable. That is perfectly fine. I'm not trying to trade anyone's mind, or I'm not trying to change anyone's mind if what you are doing is already making you profitable. The people that I'm speaking to are the people that genuinely are so overwhelmed, because that's how I was. When I came into this trading space, I was so overwhelmed with what's the best? What's the best? What's the best time frame? What's the best market structure shift? What's the best pattern to trade? What's the best indicator? What's the best level? What's the best way to find support and resistance? What's the best way to find X, Y, blah, 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 blah. And I came to find out so many people were trying to tell me what their best was. I never could find what my best was. Right? I want to repeat that one more time for a lot of you. I could not find what my best was because I kept trying to do everyone else's best. I kept trying to copy hundreds of other business models instead of finding what was best for me. And that is why I preach so hard in my trade group of focusing on what matters: psychology, discipline, and consistency. Because if you focus on these three things with a model that is backed by data, that is empirically profitable, that has no other way other than telling you that the data here is true if you stick to this risk management, if you stick to this way of trading, this interval of trading, however the rules are set, if you stick to that and you stay disciplined to it day in, day out, there is no reason why you can't extract value from these markets. The problem is in your own mind. The problem is in your own personal thinking ego process that you have to do what everyone else is doing. Live on YouTube. There we go. Well, I added every Discord. I thought people would get it, but I just sent an at in the NDA chat. So, going back to this bias, right? The main thing that I want you guys to understand is no, you don't need a bias. You don't need to sit here and try to predict the market. It's like it's such wasted energy. And we went over this yesterday. I joined one of my good friends, two of my good friends, Twitter space, Pippi Banks and Yvonne. Shout out to them. I hopped in their Twitter space and it was very good. It was very good. They talked about this main subject is the bias, right? The bias effect. Bias is affecting your trading psychology, your trading styles, all that stuff. And I cannot agree more. I cannot agree more, because what you find is so many people, they try to learn a strategy or a model, and it just doesn't click with their brain. It doesn't click with their lifestyle. It doesn't click with their way of thinking, and they try to force it. You know what I mean? They try to force it. It's like the people that are giving them education. It's like, no, you have to do the way I do it, right? You have to join my cult. Join my cult. Be in my way of trading, because if you don't, what are you doing? You guys have to be very cognizant of that. You have to be cognizant that it doesn't matter how you trade, as long as you're trading and as long as you're being consistent to who you are as a trader and the model that you built for yourself. There are billions of businesses around the world. Tons. Do you think they all operate the same way? Right? There's billions of businesses, millions of profitable businesses, and within those millions of profitable businesses, there are different business models. There's different ways they do marketing. There's different ways they do customer support. There's different ways they collect revenue. There's different ways they drive revenue. There's different products. There's different ways of doing the business itself. Right? So when you see these people, I want you guys to be very cognizant of the fact that be cognizant of the fact that these people, these influencers online, these content creators with all of this different stuff, the only reason they are telling you this stuff is to get more clicks for themselves, because that's their business plan. That's their business model. That's their way of thinking. Don't fall victim to other people's business plans and ways of thinking if it doesn't improve your business. And it's perfectly fine. If you disagree with me, that's fine. That's the beauty of trading. You will never see me go back and forth with somebody on Twitter about my philosophies, because my philosophies are what makes me profitable. Every single time someone disagrees with the way I trade or the way I think or the way I do things on the charts, I tell them that's the beauty of trading. You and I both are correct. But my argument here is not if I'm correct or not. It's I'm speaking to the people that directly relate with how I feel, that directly relate with the fact that you don't need to sit here and go to a higher time frame and be like, all right, guys, even though I trade on the 1 minute time frame, we're gonna go to the 12 month. Okay, we're going to the 12 month. All right, we're bullish. We're gonna go to the 6 month here, and we're also bullish here, but we're making smaller candles, and then we go to and we got this fair value gap here with this break of blah blah blah, and then we go to the 3 month, and we have the 3 month over here, and dude, like, what? I'm trading on the 1 minute time frame. What do I have any business being on? What do I have any business on what the Dixie's doing? What do I have any business doing what any of these other things are doing? I need to be an expert at how this moves in the specific way that I trade it. AKA, all I need to know, where's my liquidity? The data is what is driving where I take the decisions from. In this case, from 8 to 11:15 a.m. EST every single morning. And then the structure of the market. That's it. And it blows people's brains because so many people spend 1 to 2 years failing in trading, not because it's anything that they do. It's that they're trying to make things make sense that doesn't make sense in their brain. That's why there's so many different types of vehicles out there. That's why there's so many different types of fashion, so many different types of cars, houses, plane airlines. Dude, the list goes on and on. There's so many different varieties of things that we like as human beings. That's because different things click with different brains, right? You don't just have one singular profession. You have hundreds of thousands of millions of professions, because somebody that wants to be a doctor, right, doesn't relate to somebody that wants to be a lawyer. They're two different ways of thinking. Those different ways of making money click with different ways of their brain. So again, if somebody tells you, if you're not doing a top-down analysis, then you're doing it wrong. I would highly disagree with that. I would say if you're not doing a top-down analysis, but your trading model requires you to do that because that's what drives your executions, then yes, you are doing it wrong. But if you're doing a top-down analysis because you feel like that's what's the status quo, that's what the cool kids are doing, but your business model does not need that in any way, shape, or form, you are doing nothing but wasting your time, and you're trying to feed your ego. You're trying to tell yourself that you need to do all this complicated jargon and learn all this mumbo jumbo that you really don't need. You guys say in the chat, do you guys agree with that? Let me know in the chat. If anybody here disagrees, please let me know in the chat. Like, I don't want just echo chambers. If anybody here genuinely has an alter belief of that, I would love to, because that's where growth is. That's where we come together and have important conversations on a live stream versus you sitting here mindlessly just being like, oh, is he taking a trade? Is he taking a trade today? Is he long? Are we short? Are we long? Are we long or short? Austin, are we in a trade? We aren't in a trade. I am in a trade, and you are in a trade. We are not in a business together because these are solo businesses. And if you guys do get value from this, I would love for you to take just like 5 seconds, hop on over here because Twitter hates this, by the way. Every single time I post that I'm going live on YouTube, it's like Twitter hates it when you post outside links. So if you guys want to help me out, all you got to do is just go to my Twitter, retweet, like it, just say, hey, we're here. We're hanging out. We're showing what real trading's about. I would really appreciate that. Right. Don't need it just watching price action and market structure in the current hour. Exactly. You know, I said yesterday on my Twitter too, was that if your average trade duration is 48 minutes like mine, then why do I need the 4-hour time frame? You know what I mean? Like, why do I need anything higher than the 1 hour? Like, someone convince me, and I will gladly reconsider. But because I'm open to learning new things, I don't think that I am a master trader. I don't think that I am an expert. But all I tell you guys is I have so much conviction in what I say because I do what I say. I practice what I preach. I don't sit here and just talk about nonsense and then never do it. You guys see live on my camera, on my chart, almost four days out of the week, you see what I'm doing. You know, you see what I'm practicing. You see the money that I make, that I share on social media. You see all this. And one thing that just doesn't make sense that has helped me tremendously is I don't need anything higher than a 1 hour because I'm in this trade for an hour. The hour can show me what's going to happen in an increment of an hour because I'm being out of the trade on average in less than an hour. I don't need to be in a trade longer than an hour. Because my data tells me so out of tons of trades. And the interesting thing too is the trade duration is average amongst 3 different models that I trade, right? Velocity doesn't skew that different to how I trade these Nancy setups, these midnight retracement setups. Like all of my models, they still have a pretty, less than an hour average trade duration. So what the heck do I need to do higher than an hour? Never once did I look at a daily buy 16% up for the year. See? Dude, 16%. You know what I mean? Like, what bet? What do you ask for? Then we do not have to do whatever we're doing in this or say that things like you will only be profitable if you do this or that. Exactly. Exactly, dude. Like I try my best to go the most opposite of the status quo of a lot of stuff. And sometimes it's a lonely road because obviously people say the same thing. They kind of form their own echo chamber and then they form their own community, all that stuff. But I don't want to be like that. I don't want to ever be contained to a certain way of thinking or a certain way of doing something. And I'm telling you guys, the reason why I am so passionate about doing my own thing, thinking my own way, is because everyone was crazy in this world. Look back at every invention, every historic thing. Everyone sounded crazy until it worked. Think about that. Everyone sounded crazy until they seen success. Everyone sounded crazy until they seen the invention do what it was invented to do. I'm telling everyone something so crazy in the trading world that's been prophesized for so many years. You got to do multi-time frame analysis, top-down analysis. You got to look at the daily, the weekly, the yearly, the monthly, the blah, 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 blah. You got to look at the quarterly. I'm doing something that everyone, and it sounds so crazy, but yet everybody that when I said this, so many people have DM'd me, tagged me on Twitter, came into the Discord. Not a lot of people came into the Discord and shared. There's a few, but a lot of people on Twitter and DMs have been like, dude, it's so simple. And I see this happening every day. They're not looking at a daily bias. They're not finding multi-time. Average retail people like you and I are literally reading price out of spending 5 minutes analyzing the chart using data. And that's why, again, ladies and gentlemen, the bar of being a successful trader is actually very low. It really, really is. I say that with so much passion inside my heart. The bar of being a successful trader is so low. If you can remain disciplined, if you can be consistent day in, day out, green, red, or flat, and you can build your psychology by journaling every single day and building your data while you're doing it, you know your business plan. Your business plan is fluid with how the market moves. You can see this happening. But so many people, and it breaks my freaking heart, and this is what really pisses me off in the trading space, so many people get discouraged from this industry that can change their life, that can objectively change their life because of some content creator that has too much ego is telling them they're doing something wrong. And then they think they're doing something wrong when really it's the thing that they should be doing. And they're missing out on all the success because of somebody else with an ego. I don't care how you trade. You can disagree with how I trade. You can disagree with how I analyze the charts, and that is perfectly fine. Why? Because it works for me. And if you don't click with the way I trade, if you don't click with the way I analyze price, guess what? I am glad you found me so you can write off one additional way of not looking at price. If the way if I expose you to a different way of thinking and this way of thinking doesn't click with your brain, then guess what? I have added value to you because I have now eliminated a way that you could have potentially done this, and it gets you closer to the way it makes sense for you. Think of how great that is. Think of how beautiful trading really can be, because so many people can be right and wrong at the same time and still at the end of the week make money. It's crazy. It's crazy. where I draw the line. Fashion is plaid and hoodies, nothing else, and not at the same time. That's another reason I just want to be so wealthy. Is I want to go so against the grain of what a wealthy person looks like. Like, dude, I'll wear shorts and sneakers if I want to. Or a suit and sneakers if I want to. I don't freaking care. Really helpful, Mighty Me. Nice. Thank you so much, man. Dale Gordon, short and long? We short? Are we long? One step at a time. Dude, that's right. I mean, I'm telling you guys, my main goal, sitting here streaming every single Monday that I'm not sick or there's not a federal holiday, the reason why I stream in front of my Discord community is to, one, show exactly that I preach, that I practice what I preach. And two, to show other people that there is another way of trading out there that maybe you didn't think of. And to wrap this all up is just to show you how beautiful trading can be if you treat it like a business, if you focus on what matters, if you cut out all the bull crap and understand that this is just another type of way of being an entrepreneur, and there's no difference. There's no difference. It's not sunshine and Dubai sunsets. It's not sitting on a beach somewhere on a laptop. It's genuinely just maybe it's your mic. If you turn your head, your sound is gone. Oh, maybe it's my mic. Yeah, maybe it's my mic because I'm like focused in. Here, I'll look at the chat over on my phone so that way. Action today too, because we have no major news. For those of you that are new or newer to the trading space, if you have like a no news day or a nothing at all really, this is how price really is. I mean, price just moves kind of boring. There's not a lot of volume, you know what I mean? It's just kind of just is what it is. That's why sometimes these morning streams can be very exciting and fun, and we're in a trade and everything's all sexy and sunshine. And other days, I just sit here and talk to you guys about stuff you need to hear while we wait on a setup. Did anybody take this MNQ, by the way? Kind of curious to see if anybody in the chat did. Again, I totally see why, if you did take this trade right here, if you did take that, I see it. I see why you would have, but I just wasn't a fan of it. You're in a low. Nice. You trading midnight retracement, Scott? Or you took it? Yeah. It's a good one. Don't get me wrong. It's with the model. It's with the rules. This is just a personal thing. I do not like this cross. And maybe this is just the conservative side of me of being a conservative trader, but I just didn't like it. And I never like to be in a trade. I never like to take a trade if there is an ounce of doubt where I'm just like, yeah, I'm not sure about it. And see, that's just me, again, practicing what I preach. Does that make me, wrong? No. I'm a human just like anybody else, but I like to stick to trades that I have a 100% good feeling about. And does that still make these decisions wrong? No. Sometimes these run without me perfectly, There was a trade last week that I said, nah, it just doesn't look good quality, and it ran straight to profit. It was like practically a zero drawdown trade. This one could hit right to profit, and guess what? I'm not going to sit here and whine and complain, oh my God, I missed it. No, because this wasn't my trade to take. Because if I told myself that this is not a trade that my business needs to be exposed to, because I don't feel confident taking a business decision with this, one, that does not mean if you took it, you are incorrect. That does not mean that just because you didn't blindly follow me, you are not a bad trader. And two, this doesn't mean that I have to be upset about it, because this was not a trade that I wanted to take in the first place. I looked at it, but it's not convincing me, but it works. Yep. Sitting this one out until the market opened. See, and I love that you guys have different views on this, because look at this. We're all using the same model here, or at least most of us, but yet some people are in the trade and some people aren't. And that is great, because you guys are driving your own business, and that's what I want it to be here. I want to create independent thinkers. I want to create people that genuinely just want this as a business, and not to sit here and treat it like a casino and be like, oh, you guys in? Are you long? Also, if you're just joining, I am not in this trade. I need to get rid of this. I always forget that when I'm live on YouTube, I'll leave these sit here, and people are like, are you in long? No, I'm not. Are you long? Are you sure? I need to get a soundboard, man. I need to get an Elgato soundboard so bad. DVP took it. Nice. Just too much bearish momentum coming into the liquidity footprint for me. Well, also make sure you understand this too, Dale. Is when we take these midnight retracement trades, when I take these, you're almost always going to have the opposite momentum, because we're pretty much trading the counter trend of the lower time frame trend. Like, these are almost always going to be, I wouldn't say always, I would say 60% of the time, this is how the trade is going to look. The only reason, again, keyword, only reason I wanted to sit this one out is because we crossed that midnight open literally within minutes before of my trade window, and that just didn't make me feel comfortable. I didn't really enjoy that. But that it gave me doubt inside of me getting into a trade. You know what I mean? So I don't like to go into a trade at all that I feel uneasy about. And if that means that I don't take this trade today, then I don't take this trade today. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Work goes smoothly when you know the right steps. With Asana, you can coordinate tasks across.
Mondays and Fridays are my worst days. Too anxious to trade on them. That's another thing too. MW, I'm glad you brought that up. Hey, we got 50 people in here. Guys, if you guys get value from this stream, I love to sit here and just talk about different parts of my experience as a trader that could help you and give you experience, real trading, not sitting here fluffing up anything. Hit that like button, subscribe. I would love to have you as a subscriber. I'd love to have you every single Monday, because I do these every single Monday, 8:20 a.m. EST. And we focus on what matters, okay? Psychology, discipline, and consistency. I don't care what model you trade. I don't care where you come from. I don't care where you live. I don't care who you are. I don't care how you trade. If you focus on these three things, and you show up every single freaking day and treat this like a business, and you do that for 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 years, a decade, come back to me and tell me you still haven't extracted value from the markets. And that's what we do here. We find sexy in the unsexy. We find it sexy to talk about data. We find it sexy to talk about journaling. We find it sexy to talk about putting in work and showing up here and analyzing the charts, even if we don't take a single trade. We find it sexy that every single aspect of what people that get shiny object syndrome do, we do the opposite. Because if the 90% are doing all these shiny object things all over here, then I want to be over here. I want to be with the 10%. I want to do what the 10% is doing. I want to be and do what the profitable people are doing. I don't want to be over here. But did you do your top-down analysis? Did you look at your yearly, your monthly, your bi-monthly, your quarterly, your weekly, to your daily to get that singular trade? Nope. I didn't. And I don't need to. But that doesn't mean that you may not need to. That just means that for me, I don't need to. What's up, Kat? Good morning. What's the impact trading? What's up, PG? Shout out to PG. PG shared some really good improvements in the Discord earlier. I think it was a couple days ago. And I hit up my developer. We're going to see what we can do. So, yeah, just stay tuned. There's going to be some more updates for the Midnight Snap indicator here. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. I don't want to really share what they are yet because I don't want to give promises that I can't keep. So because we don't know if we can get all of the data yet, we just have to see. Because with TradingView, the issue with TradingView is that it's so limited on how much data you can use in a singular indicator. It may have to be another indicator, but because of just the simple fact that we're so limited on data, just like how like a computer, it's limited to how much RAM it can have. So like if you open up a billion applications on your computer, it starts to get slow to the point where you just can't operate it. That's the same thing with TradingView, is they limit you on how much data your indicator / strategy can use. So if you add like a billion things, it just won't work. It'll just crash. And it'll just have like study errors and all that stuff. And sometimes this will still even have study errors because it lags out with TradingView. But, you know, we're analyzing a lot of data over a long period of time. I mean, literally, if you go to the hourly here, it's 1,044 days. That's over 2 years, almost 3 years. Hey, we're almost to 2,000 subscribers. Let's go. I just noticed that. I just seen my subscribers there. We've been growing pretty nicely. These live streams, videos, slowly but surely catching traction. I'm telling you guys, like I'm doing this the slow way. You guys know how I am. I'm very, very long-term oriented, I guess you could say. So I don't care about short-term noise. I don't care about likes in the sense, like I tell you guys to like my videos because it helps the algorithm. But I don't care about that stuff for my ego. I genuinely just want to come here, share my journey, and have fun doing it. I want to build a tribe of people that think the same way I think, because that is long-term thinking. Like I want to build with professionals, not gamblers. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me, especially in the mornings when a lot of people are going to work. Some people say they listen to me when they go to work, and then they have to hop off. So, really appreciate it. When the study error, then I remove the indicator and add it again. It usually works. Yeah, that's usually all you got to do is either just like take it off or go to a different time frame. Then you're usually good. You on 1K last month? I can actually tell you. Yeah. 1,647 subscribers. So I was at 1.6 a month ago, and today I'm at 1.96. So pretty nice growth. In your opinion, my biggest one is, say, the biggest con is your drawdown is stupid tight. Not that it's impossible, but with the intraday drawdown, let me see what it is. It's so freaking tight. I mean, you got to do a 300K full account. You have a trailing threshold of 7,500 bucks. You do 7,500. 7,500 divide that by 300. That's 2.5% drawdown. I mean, you could do. Safest bet is just trading micros. And then, but then it's just like, dude, it's going to be such a slow grind to get to that profit goal that you'd be better off sticking to the normal risk management of a 25K and just get a bunch of 25Ks that equal, or a little bit less than 300K, whatever. And now you have so much more drawdown, right? Because you do 1,500 divided by 25K, and that's 6%. You got 6%. Because remember, the game is about percentages, not really about the capital, because it doesn't really matter if it's a 300K, 75K. What matters is the drawdown. And the drawdown, you just get more drawdown per dollar in the 25K than any of the others. So for me, it really only makes sense to get the 25K. Everything else, you're just kind of fighting an even harder game, But that's just my opinion. That's how I'm viewing it. I guess the pro would be that you do have one 300K account. You know what I mean? Can't hear you. Can you guys hear me? Let me turn up my... Yeah, I can hear me on mine. But yeah. So I guess, I mean, one major con or one major pro if you get a 300K account, I will say you only have to pay one activation fee, right? So if you get a 300K, you only got to pay $105 versus 105 times 6. So I would say the main con that you have to outweigh, the risk to reward here, is, are you going to pay for one activation fee? Do you value the one payment of a one activation fee but with a tighter drawdown, or do you value a little bit wider drawdown but a more premium in activation fees because you have multiple accounts, right? because you only got to pay that one activation fee if you got a 300K funded, but you also have very tight drawdown that it's very easy to hit. You know what I mean? Like 2.5%, even 6% is a very normal drawdown. Like I want you guys to be real. Also, if you guys took this trade, you're sitting very pretty right now. If you took this trade right here. Again, if you don't understand what this trade is, please go watch the video after this stream of the midnight retracement model. Again, the only reason I did not take this trade is we crossed the midnight open literally within minutes before my trade window. I didn't like it, so didn't want to take it. But if you guys did take this, you're sitting very pretty right now. We're almost a full take profit. I better see some hype in the chat if you guys get a profit here. I want to be happy for people. I want to be happy for you guys winning. Hey man, you have some good trades where I can look at now. What's up, Bart? I don't get your question. Hey man, you have some good trades. Where can I look at now? What you mean, where can you look at now? B-Energy, what's up? You can hear me? BMW. Okay, cool. You guys can hear me. What you doing, Rams? You scare me, dude. Thinking my audio went out. Yeah, I would say US30 is, I mean, for those of you that are just popping in here, US30 has a really good potential trade this morning. It's when you move away from your mic. I'm gonna have to play with my mic settings because it's like a hit or miss. It's good because it's focused, but then if I literally move any other direction, it's like it barely picks me up. That's pretty annoying. New here, what is your style of trading? Mechanical, ICT, standard deviation? Or support and resistance, I guess. I would say my style is Austin Clark. I'd say my style is pack trading models, baby. No, I trade with statistics. I trade with data, and I use market structure, liquidity, and data. That's it. I can explain in about 1 minute how I trade. And I'm telling you right now, if anybody takes longer than like a minute to explain how they trade, it's the same thing of if you're building a business and it takes longer than 30 seconds to explain what your business is, you don't have a business, you got a hobby. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. So how I trade, right? You see right here on the bottom right. Welcome, by the way, generate funds online. Welcome. Thank you for joining, and I hope you find this valuable and you tune in. We do this every single Monday, 8:20 a.m. EST. As long as there's not like a federal holiday or something that the market's closed on a Monday or I'm sick. Usually here. Join the Discord and I stream even more. Tuesday through Thursday in the Discord. So we have a 67.4% chance out of almost 3 years of data, right? And you can go into replay mode and find other chunks of data, and you can go all the way to like 10 plus years. It doesn't matter. 10 plus years of data with NASDAQ, it's still around a 65% chance every single morning between 8 to 11:15 a.m. EST, we are going to retrace to this midnight open. 65 to 70% chance. We'll just go there to a range because sometimes it's 70, sometimes it's 65, depending on the chunk of data that you pull. But either way, you have a 65 to 70% chance of retracing to this magical little line right here. So now we have to understand, well, if I know that price is going to magically go to this line with a high chance of the time, with a high probability of the time, how do I get into that move? That's where we use liquidity footprints. Now, I go over this very extensively in that video, so please go watch that video if you haven't yet. Here, let me show you guys the video that I'm talking about. And then after this stream, you guys can go watch that. This one right here. I made an insane indicator for free. go get this. You also get access to the indicator in the video in the description or whatever, but go watch this video. This explains exactly how I trade in so much detail. It's 20 minutes long. I know in the TikTok age that's like asking a death sentence, but hey, it's the success to being a successful trader and a profitable trader at that is just so low in 2024. I'm telling you. With TikTok brains, I'm telling you, man. But let me get back into it. All right. So we find liquidity footprints, right? Objective buy pressure. People that move the market created this ginormous wick right here, right? No retail trader made this wick. So if we know that we have objective buy pressure here, this ginormous wick is objective buy pressure with orders that are most likely going to be filled, and vice versa for sell pressure. If we know that people that move the market on the tops of these candles, creating these wicks on the top, that's sell pressure, right? And you can see when the first one was formed here, what happened? We dug into it, sold, dug into it, sold, dug into it, sold. There is objective sell pressure here. So now we combine objective buy pressure, because if we're below midnight open and we have a 60 to 70% chance of retracing here, we're only looking for longs, right? And then vice versa, if we're above midnight open, we're only looking for shorts. It's very simple. So now you combine objective buy pressure with a window of time that is going to create this probability, drop down to the 1 minute, and that's where you get the entry. Price closed above this zone from the 1 hour right here, this major bullish footprint. There's the entry. Stop loss below a protected low. Again, we're not putting it below a swing low, below a swing high, blah, blah. It's illogical. We're putting it below a logical area for your stop loss to be hit, because your stop loss is an area that invalidates your trade idea. My trade idea is invalid if we break this low. Why? Because this low right here is responsible for making new higher highs and higher lows. This now turns into a protected low. And if this gets broken, then structure is most likely going to be broken as well. Meaning I don't want to be in this trade anymore. But this low was responsible for breaking market structure to the downside and continuing to make higher highs and higher lows. So thus, this is why my stop loss would be here, because this is the only logical place. I'm not putting my stop loss here because it's below here. I'm not putting my stop loss because it's just the swing low. I'm putting it below a protected moment of time where structure told me this is where it needs to be, right? So now we're using market structure to determine where my stop loss is. We're using liquidity to determine where my entry is, and we're using data to determine where my profit is. My target profit is where data tells me that we have a 60 to 70% chance of retracing. But what if it goes down? But what if we're in profit and it goes against us? It doesn't matter. This is a trading plan, not an emotional hobby, right? So generate funds. I hope I answered your question. If you got any other questions, please let me know. But please go watch that video. I go over it way more in depth than what I just did. I gave you guys like an overview. If you're watching the stream right now, but dude, look at this. In the Discord, midnight retracement model study, 60 minute, which is the 1 hour bullish footprint, entry on the 1 minute right there. Now they added a little bit more to how they trade. They added market structure shift, displacement, all that. But still, I mean, it's so beautiful to see how this works. Because this is, it's truly all you really need to discover where price is most likely going to go, and to use liquidity in your favor and use data in your favor. It's the coolest feeling in the world to be able to wake up every single morning and to be like, dang, I have a high probability to know where price is going to go this morning. Audio is fine. Gotcha. Could you please share your indicator settings? So with future assets, you have to go an hour before, because what it's doing is for futures, the data feed's a little different than for CFDs and Forex. So for futures version of NASDAQ, I have to put 7 to 10:15, and what it's doing is it's showing the close of 7 to the close of 10:15. So you see how when I go in the 1 minute, it shows 8, it starts the window at 8. And then I have to put 23 because it's the close of the 23 candle, which is the midnight, right? The midnight open candle, which is right here. You see how now it's midnight. But if I go to, say, NAS 100, the CFD version, it's going to be off. See, look, 7 o'clock, because the data is just different. So if you're looking at a CFD or a Forex asset or even crypto, just make sure the time is exactly what you want. But if you're looking at a futures contract, the only difference is you have to change it an hour before, because it's doing the close of the candle before, versus on CFDs it's doing the opening of the candle that you specify. So that's literally the only change. Hope that helped you, AM. Also, welcome. Seen a lot of new faces in the stream today. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you guys find this helpful? Like, compare that, especially for the newer people that's watching. Compare this to most of the trade streams out there. Is there anything I did good? Is there anything I did wrong that could be improved? Again, this doesn't have to be an echo chamber where it's just good things. If you have something critical to say that's not disrespectful, please let me know. I want these streams to be good for people that watch and invest their time into what I do. We got market open in 1 second. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Market is open. Let's see if the midnight retracement traders get their profits. Again, why is this a trade? Why was there a trade here? We have this footprint right here. We have the 7 o'clock candle right there with the footprint right there. The trade was right here. There. Stop loss was there. No, I'm sorry. This was the candle. Take profit was there. Let's see if they get it. I want to see the chat. I want to see the chat blow up if you're in this trade. Again, if you're watching this trade play out, this is psychology. Right here is why psychology, discipline, consistency are so important. If you are in this trade and you're cutting early because you're scared, because you're like, oh God, I was so close to profit. You got to let the trade play out, bro. Stop loss or profit. You got to let it play out. You got to let the math do its thing. See that freaking open candle? We just like snap, snap, boom. Ding, ding. I wish I had it. US30 is also going crazy. Let's look up US30. Who took a US30 trade? Ooh, I see No Chain said US30 for the win. Who took this US30 one? Let's see. Let's map it out. So without me cheating, let me show you guys exactly how it works. So for the new people, so 7 o'clock, right? Waiting until 7 o'clock candle closes. This is YM, the Dow Jones contract. We have bullish liquidity here. We are below the midnight open. We have a 62.3% chance out of 2+ years of data telling us we're going to pop up to this level. So now we just take this. We use footprints to tell us when we need to get into the trade because there is objective buy pressure here. We now go to the 1 minute time frame, and I'm now just looking to wait and see when we have an objective bullish close above the rejection of this footprint. We break below this one, we delete it, because guess what? Footprints will get eliminated. They can get disrespected. It's not about being a predictor and a magic 8-ball reader. It's about taking high probability risks. We closed below the footprint. Now we're looking for a retest. Right there. So we close above. We come back in. We retest. That's your entry. Why do we wait for a retest? Because we closed below the footprint. Closing below the footprint means we now need to wait for a retest. We're not taking the first candle that explodes above the footprint to give us further confirmation that this isn't a fake out. Retest right here. Stop loss below the most protected low. Stop loss is here because this low broke structure to the upside. Here is the most recent lower high that made a lower low. It got broken right here from this low. This low was the catalyst that shifted market structure bullish. So I want my stop loss below this low to protect my stop loss, because if this comes down, my trade idea is invalidated. Your target profit is the midnight open. 1.73. Again, you guys can't make this up. This is 2 days price action. People took this trade today, not worrying about a single freaking bias. And there's the trade right there. Right to take profit. Nice win. Heck yeah, good job, guys. Good freaking job. Cap got it. No Chains got it. Gibbo got it. Ram said US30 Nancy is going crazy and it hit TP. Yes, sir. AM, thanks. Just one more quick question. Do you ever change the settings as the day progresses or keeping it the same, bro? This is the one. So this is a very good question that you just asked and a very important one. I want you guys to pay attention to the answer. Okay? Don't have TikTok brain. All right? Listen. People ask me, as soon as I release this video, I got so many people asking me, well, what do you do after it retraces? Right? Like for the people that hit this trade and hit a full take profit, what do? You're done. You're done for the day. Why do you need to expose your business to more risk? This is a business, right? This was a business decision. You exposed your business to 41 ticks of loss to gain 71 ticks of profit. So what in the frick do I have to do now? If I won the day, what do I need to do? I need to close up shop. The customers came in. They gave me their money. I sold the product. And it worked. The day was in my favor with the data that is right in front of our eyes. So if the day was in my favor, if I won the day, what do I need to do on the charts? But Austin, what if you didn't take a trade? Then I'm not exposing my risk. I'm not risking my business to anything else. I don't need to take another trade. I don't need to expose my business to anything else for the day, because the market showed me that based on my plan, there was nothing good to take based on my plan. It wasn't based on the market in general. I'm not saying it was useless to take a trade for everyone. I'm saying for myself, if today was a no trade day, it's because my business and the plan that keeps my business profitable, that keeps the lights on, told me that it's not a good day to expose risk. So people will say, like with the NASDAQ here. So it looks like, oh, wow. So NASDAQ literally got within points of take profit and then just slammed to the stop loss. So if you got into this trade, hey, it is what it is. You got to let the math and the data play out. But just with NASDAQ, people would be like, well, what happens if you retrace midnight open before this window? It doesn't matter. This data is telling me that within this moment of time, this is the probabilities that I can experience. I don't care what happens before, just like I don't care what happens after my window of time to execute trades. Just like how Hardee's, when they close, when McDonald's closes for the day, they're not worried about how many customers they can get in the store when it closes. Just like how any business that closes, that has a close time, they don't care about all the potential business they're missing out on, right, for that day, for the rest of the day, because they made their money, they made their time. It's the same thing in trading, but for some reason, people get so caught up in the fact that trading is so easy because you just click a button that they think it's something totally different than what regular businesses operate on. Guys, you need a business plan. You need a journal. You need to do all this stuff. You need to find sexy in the unsexy. You need to focus on what matters, building your psychology, discipline, consistency. If you're not, you will never experience a net dollar from this. I don't care how smart you think you are. I don't care how fancy your model is. This is the real side. Do you leave runners? Absolutely not. I take my profit and I go home. I don't have data on runners. Now, and I'm not saying runners are bad, but for my model, nope. I'm done as soon as it hits profit. I'm done, because the problem for myself with runners is it's hard to build data around, right? You can't really build for how I trade. It's really difficult to find a way to make a consistent data of runners, because you don't know where it's going to run to, right? It could run this trade for YM that hit profit here. This trade could run for 300 plus ticks. It could also hit your profit and immediately reverse. Because after we retrace to midnight open, I don't care what happens. I don't care where we go. One of the things that my mentor told me when I was first starting to trade, he said, you have to be comfortable watching price move in your favor after taking profit. Right? And I think that's one thing that makes a lot of people want to get runners, is they feel like they have to do that because they see all these trades running to profit. But what they don't see is all the winning trades that they took that immediately would have hit their stop loss or put them in a drawdown if they didn't take profit. It's the same thing here with my model, right? If I know that my data tells me that we have a high likelihood of getting to this level, to getting to the midnight open, then I don't need anything else. That for my model, if I were to sit here and try to focus on getting runners, I would just be having greed at that point. And again, trading out of emotion is a terrible business model, right? So yeah, I never leave runners, and I never even think of leaving runners. Did you adjust to daylight? Nope. You don't have to. If you guys are using the indicator, you don't have to adjust to daylight savings time, because TradingView does it for you. So I'm on New York time. You see how, well, that's kind of weird. It says UTC -5. It's probably just not updated yet. But down here, it's UTC -4. I'm not sure why it says 5 here and 4 here. It's probably just not updated yet. But no, this is correct, because what it's going off of is your TradingView time frame. That's why I tell people, if you're a trader and you're somewhere else around the world, bro, just your language is now UTC -4, UTC -5. Just start speaking New York language, all right? Stop trying to sit here and stress yourself out. But what's the conversion to Australia to New York, and then to do this and that, and then the loop-de-loop and pull? Like, just, dude, save yourself 20,000 times of stress and just click that button there and switch it to New York. I know it's not your time frame. I know all that, but just it makes life so much easier. Everyone that trades speaks in New York or London, and that's it. That's the two major sessions, and that's the two major time zones anyone cares about in trading, is New York and London. Logic to this system. Thank you, Austin. Fox 2. Nice. Fox 2. Another new... I see a lot of new faces in the chat. Let me know. Did you find me from Twitter? Did you find me from YouTube? Have you just been... You've been watching for a while and you just now commented? But either way, I really do appreciate you guys. And thank you for letting me know. Because when you guys let me know that type of stuff, yeah, it feeds my ego a little bit. But, dude, it makes me that much more motivated just to keep on putting content out, because I love creating content, but at the same time, under the same breath, I love to just trade. Like, if I could literally just hire someone to do all of my social media for me and I just trade, I would gladly do that tomorrow. That was such an unfortunate loss with NQ. Yeah, NQ was... Yeah, that was a ripper. This was one of those heartbreak trades. But again, you gotta be okay exposing yourself to this, because guess what? Here's where traders fail again. Okay? Traders will see YM hit a beautiful take profit, and now, out of one trade... All right, I want you guys to listen to me. Out of one trade, they will now build an entire bias that Dow Jones is better than NQ, and because NQ did a very small, unfortunate stop loss and then went straight to profit, and then tomorrow, YM could do the exact opposite. YM could be the one that tags you into a stop loss, while NQ hits a perfect full take profit. And the problem here is you just need to respect the data. You need to find a model, find one or two assets to trade. And if you're trading both NASDAQ and YM, that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying don't do it or anything. I'm just saying I like to just stick to one or the other, because it allows me to be very zoned in on this one model with this one way, and I can see, I can see the asset a little bit better because I'm focusing on one thing. But that's not to say that it's a terrible way of doing it. You just got to manage your risk. And for me, right, like, this is perfectly fine. If I hit a stop loss while others win on Dow Jones, and vice versa, if I hit a stop loss on Dow Jones and others hit a take profit, like on Dow Jones here with this beautiful take profit that people hit, hey, it's all math. It's all math, baby. Dodgy. Oh, nice, Mighty Me. Yeah, Dodgy's a good dude. I love Dodgy. I love listening to him talk. I love listening to alternate opinions too. Dodgy trades completely different than how I trade, and he still makes money. That's the beauty of trading, guys. Like, again, you will never, ever hear me dog on anybody in this trading industry. Ever. Because as long as you can be consistent and find a way to extract value, it could contradict everything I say, and I'm still happy for you. I could disagree with how Dodgy trades, or anybody, and I'm still happy for them. Think of how crazy that is in trading, right? In any other business industry, if I disagree with you, you're my enemy, you're my competitor, you're somebody that I have to actually not build a relationship with because you're against my business model. In trading, I don't have to hate you. This isn't a cult. You know what I mean? This isn't a groupthink mentality. I can be happy for you. I see Pippi's in the house. What's up, Pippy? Pippy, I can see him hit a full take profit, and I hit a full take profit, or I hit a stop loss, and we're still happy. We're still friends. He could be like, dude, I'm long. Well, I'm short. And we could both win the trade. How crazy is that? How crazy and beautiful of an industry is trading. Curious where to access your indicators. Joined monthly yesterday. Didn't see in Discord. Oh, Scott. You joined the Discord? You joined the Pack Trade Group? I must have just completely missed you. Dude, let me send you the welcome message. You don't have access to the NDA side yet, so all of my Pack Trade Group members, they all are under NDA with how we trade, the voice, the live trade sessions. So you haven't even gotten to the NDA side. So if you're still here, shoot me a ticket in the Pack Trade Group Discord of your full name and email. Okay, you're still in here? Go into the Discord, send your full name and email, and I'll shoot you over the NDA to get signed. Super easy. Takes 5 seconds. Just obviously read over it, please. And then I'll give you the NDA role, and I'll shoot you the welcome message and stuff. So that's completely my bad. I have failed you, but that'll be the last time I fail you. When did you join? I don't even see. Let me check the chat. I didn't even see when you joined. Dude, you must have snuck in here. Oh, you joined last night when I was asleep. Okay. You perfectly joined when I was asleep, and then people started sending messages in the general chat this morning, so I just must have looked over it. My bad. I got you, Scott. From TTG Discord gave you a shout out a couple weeks ago. That's how I found. Dude, I love Mark too. Mark is an amazing dude. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, Mark is a smart freaking guy. And the reason why I love Mark so much from the Trading Game Discord is this guy has built some of the most simple models I've ever seen, and it works for him. Like Mark, the reason why I get along so good with Mark, and I have nothing but good words to say about him, is because the dude literally trades so simple. It's stupid simple, and he makes money in the markets as well. And it's so easy because it doesn't have to be difficult, right? Trading does not have to be difficult. You don't have to sit here and do a 20,000 different time frame analysis to take one trade, and he's a perfect example of that as well. That's why I love Mark. So yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about him. I really appreciate him giving me a shout out too. That was really nice of him. 2 for 3 today is on midnight US30 and CDN futures for the win. CDN futures. What the heck is CDN? Is that Canadian? What the heck is CDN? What's CDN, Gibbo? I don't even have that on here. Unless that were you meaning CAD? MCD? I know Gibbo likes trading CAD, so maybe that's it. Pippi, no need to hate on anyone in this game. At the end of the day, none of us move the market. Dude, we are all on the same team. You're absolutely correct, Pippi. Absolutely correct. We're all on the same mark. We're all on the same team. And that's why I tell you guys, like, I tell you how I trade, and I tell you what's worked for me. I tell you my journey, and I speak with so much passion because it has worked for me. Because I have extracted value from these markets. Because I've gotten payout. Because I've gotten funded. Because I'm doing all of these amazing things. Because I have literally focused on what matters. Psychology, discipline, consistency, using data to back up every execution that I take. And if I do this over the next 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 1,000 trades, I'm going to extract value from these markets. It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. CD. Exactly. Who's on the other team? Jerome Powell, Gary Gensler, Nancy Pelosi. Those are our enemies. Those are the people that are trading against us. You think Gary Gensler's doing a high time frame analysis? Nope. He's saying, hey, what's NVIDIA doing next quarter? Oh, this? All right. Hey, accountant, buy 100,000 shares of NVIDIA. But do it in increments of 1,000 so no one can see. Hey, what's Apple doing? Is Apple about to release something? Oh no, they're actually going to miss. They're going to be under the projected earnings. Short Apple. Short Apple. That's their high time frame analysis. That's their bias. While they sit back laughing at all of us. Short Apple now? Are we short Apple? Guys, hey, I'm gonna hop off here today. You guys took some really nice trades with YM. NASDAQ was an unfortunate stop loss that went straight to take profit right after tagging it, but it happens. It happens. These things happen in trading. You just have to go with the punches. You just have to stick to your model. Win, loss, or flat, these things happen. It is perfectly okay. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you guys got value from this stream, and if you did, leave it a like on your way out. Hit a subscribe on it. We're almost to 2,000 subs. And like I say at the end of all of these streams, at the end of all of these videos, at the end of my Twitter spaces, everything, because I want you guys to hear what matters, is stay grinding on your goals and never, this is the most important thing, you never listen to anything that I said this stream, listen to this, never, ever let anyone tell you that you can't do something they have never done themselves. And I hope you guys have a beautiful week. I hope you have a profitable week. I hope you have a winning week. And I'll see you guys back here next time. Have a great day, guys.